Hello and namaste. So, behind me, I just saw this actually as a possible background. It's a rainbow of sorts, right? And this is not a statement, not that it matters about, anyways. Oh, yes, this is, I would like to read something actually. This is something that came out of nothing, as everything does. The ego, the phantom self, right? The ego, the sense of self, we feel that sense of self, but there isn't a self. It's like a mirage in the desert, it's like a rainbow in the sky. So it appears vividly, captivatingly, even. We feel this excitement about being a separate me, but there's nothing actually solid or graspable there. You can't touch it. Show me your ego. You can't. It's not there. You can't hold it. Its appearance is dependent on certain conditions, meaning the rainbow, like sunlight, moisture, and your point of view. Just as the ego seems to appear when consciousness seemingly localizes energetic contraction through thoughts, sensations, and identification. The ego is like a mirage in the desert. It gives the appearance of something real, a pool of water. But upon investigation, when we look for it, we don't see it, we can't find it. It's revealed to be an illusion. The me seems to be a central experiencer or doer, but when looked for directly, it vanishes. There's just experiencing without an experiencer. And of course, even experiencing is all dualistic. I am experiencing this. When the energetic contraction of the me collapses, it is seen that it never was. And then there is no longer an experiencer, nor is there experience as something experienced dualistically. There's just this. Already, all there is this. Nothing appearing as everything. All there is what is appearing to happen. All there is what is and what is not, because this is not a thing. Like a dream character, the ego is only real within the dream. So the story and the me are both the same thing. The story is about the me. Everything is in relationship to the me. The me is the subject, and everything else is an object that is in relationship to the subject. The moment so-called waking or awakening happens, the character never truly was. It's seen that it was only an appearance, a mirage. You can't say that the mirage was actually ever a thing, or the rainbow was ever actually something solid that you could hold on to. When you look for it, it is shown, seen to be unreal, and you realize it never was. In a way, the darkness in a room, for a million years, a room can be full of darkness. When the light turns on, the darkness disappears. And in that sense, the darkness never was. It was never actually happening. It was only appearing to happen. In the clarity of this, the ego is seen never to have had its own reality. We sure do speak about it a lot, but it's not really a thing. There are no things. This is not a thing. It was always just a story, a thought, an image, a state of mind, a feeling, a sense, an energetic contraction. It's freedom, feeling or appearing as something limited, with boundaries, with form, with shape, with perhaps a historical story attached to it. There never was a real ego to dissolve in the first place. There never was a separate self to awaken. There only ever was and is this ungraspable, unowned, unbound freedom appearing as everything. So, yes, the ego is like a phantom. It's an appearance that suggests solidity and agency, but upon seeing clearly, when you look for it, or maybe when you do a U turn, you realize it's just not there. There's no one inside of the brain, inside of the body. Maybe there's a sense, but again, even looking more into that sense, you'll see that that sense is just emptiness, fullness. So again, not as an entity, not as a thing, just an echo in a hall that was never built. That's very nice. Anyways, a few words that came out of nothing and that is nothing. Here is some hair coming out of nothing. So that is that. Nothing really much more to be said. All there is this. Who knows this? Nobody knows it. All knowing is dualistic. I know this. I apparently know it. We feel we know it. We're so certain that we know so many things. But at some moment, it may seem, it may appear, it may be realized that we actually don't know much at all. That's not a scary thing, doesn't have to be. We certainly can look down in the illusion of being a separate self with awareness. We can look down and see the hands, see the body, see the computer. And in that story, there is a relationship between I and other, between me and the world. And we try to navigate our body through that world, and we try to have more pleasure than pain. Of course, no one is doing that because there isn't anyone, there isn't a self to begin with or to end with. There's just this. Memory can appear, but it's not something real. It's just this appearing as memories, again, as images of a so-called past that is not present here now. And silence can appear. No one is doing that. Silence and sound are the same thing. But silence, actually, in a way, can be even louder than sound. You've probably heard somebody say, the silence was deafening. It's quite the image. Nisargadatta Maharaj used to say that realized people or beings were very silent, very quiet, very still. And probably that's because there's no longer the incessant chatting happening within the mind. There's what's happening, and then the mind always seems to be commenting on what's happening. There's always sort of a narrative that's happening. Eckhart Tolle calls it the voice in the head. So there's eating, and then there's commenting on eating. Oh, this is good. This is tasty. How come she had more than I did? How come she's working and not eating? Or whatever the story is. There's so many stories. So many stories, all of them ultimately just untrue, empty. Not that they're true or false. They just simply are stories that are empty. Everything is empty. This is emptiness, fullness. This is the absolute appearing as the relative. This is nothing appearing as everything. It's an appearance, but there's no one inside of the appearance or outside of the appearance who is separate, who could be aware of the appearance. There's just an appearance. And of course, that sounds like a thing. There's no thing. And in that sense, there's no appearance. Nothing is actually happening. It may feel like it. It may seem like it. And this is not here to tell you anything because already there isn't a you. This isn't speaking to that. There's no this and there's no that. There's no I or there's no other. So this is not speaking to a person. It's already recognized, realized that there isn't anyone out there or in here. There's no one here. There's no one there. This is like a dog barking to the moon. Ruff, ruff, ruff. It's empty. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have any purpose. It cannot benefit you because, of course, again, there isn't a you. It's just dancing, moving, singing, creativity and intelligence, not actually, but creativity and intelligence just appearing to happen all by itself, without a doer, without a self. For no one, no meaning, no purpose, no dimensions, no layers, no before, no after, no now, no time, no space, no chooser, no choice, no free will, because there isn't anyone there who could have or not have free will. There just isn't a self. It's all empty. It's just all appearing to happen for no one, for no reason. No layers, no process, no A trying to get to point B, no becoming. Nothing is becoming. There isn't anything to begin with. So how could nothing even become something? Nothing isn't becoming everything. Nothing is everything. Nothing is appearing as everything. And that's that. Or not. In the story just continues. It never stops. That's all story. But in other words, there's no conclusion. There's no like, okay, there's no checklist. We did this, this, and this. Okay, khalas, it's done. Stop. No, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Of course, it never started. There's no beginning, no end, no middle, no birth, no death, no real life. This is beyond being and non-being. It's aliveness for no one. Aliveness. Absence. This is absence. Absence of self. This is immediacy. It doesn't take any time for this to be everything. It's always and already everything. Always and already no self. Always and already whole and complete and total. Always and already nothing is missing. Nothing needs to happen. Nothing needs to be attained or obtained. No separation, no duality, not two. Just this. For no one. Why does he have to say that? Why does he have to keep saying for no one? Because there's no self. He doesn't have to say it. There's no requirements. Nothing has to happen. Nothing is happening. No one is laughing. No one is, itching their nose. No one is reflecting. No one is looking. No one is aware. Awareness is an illusion. It is the illusion of the separate self. I am aware of this. There's no I. There's no this. What was that? Breaking through the Maya, the veil of illusion. Questions and answers, cause and effect, they just appear as this. No one is doing it. It's not real. The appearance, Tony Parsons says this is real and unreal. Can this physical body, is it physical? Is there a body? Can this physical body walk through the wall? And he would say only on Tuesdays or something like that. So no, this physical body cannot walk through that physical wall. But all physicality, even science will tell you, is nothing. This is nothing appearing as physicality. There are no things. This is not a thing. There are no objects. Everything is nothing appearing as objects for no one. Already, this isn't speaking to someone. So if you feel like a someone, you may not like this message because it's not speaking to you. It's not offering anything to you because already it is seen and realized that there isn't anyone. So there's no advice given. There's no how. There's no why. There's no answer to any question, really. All questions and answers are this, appearing as questions and answers. So unsatisfying. You will never get this because there isn't a you. And this isn't a thing to be gotten. There's no separation. There's no I and other. There's no I and this. If I could just get this enlightenment, if I could have this certain state, I want to have a higher state. I'm at this state. If I could have a higher state, a more elevated state, a more expansive state, I would be happy. If, these are all conditionals. If this would happen, if this could happen, oh, I would be so happy. This is not telling you to stop trying. This is saying there isn't a you already who is appearing to try. Trying can happen until the cows come home. Or in my case, the cowless Shaws, because my last name is Cowless Shaw. Nothing matters. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what is said or what is done, because already it's all empty. Mm-hmm. Already this is unconditional freedom without any conditions. So anything is possible. Already this is unconditional love. Already this is gratitude from no one to no thing, just a gratitude, a wondering, a feeling, a sense of exultation, playfulness. This is just play. It can become very serious, but it's still play. It's still intelligence and creativity. It's just divine Leela, a dance, a song, a poem, a word, silence and stillness appearing to happen for no one. When Gangaji, before she was Gangaji, I forget what her real name was, but she went to go see Papaji. Everybody said G. Gangaji, Papaji. Anyways, she was talking to him and whatnot, and he said, stop. Well, how do I stop? Stop. Well, what does that look like? Stop. Why? Why stop? Because this is already what you're seeking. This is already totality, wholeness, everything. This is already non-separation. Already there aren't two, there isn't even one. Already this is nothing appearing as everything. Stop. Now who's going to stop? There's no one who can start or stop. But this is the play. This is the story. A guru says, stop. And the mind appears to stop. Not that this is just about the mind. There isn't a mind. Show me mind. But anything is possible. Anything is possible. Stop. Maybe when Papaji said stop, maybe the rainbow disappeared. Maybe the mirage was seen through. Maybe the phantom self melted back into the ocean of unconditional freedom and unconditional love. Maybe the abstract conceptual self that Gangaji was so identified with just died. And when it died, it was seen by no one that it never was. It never was. It never had been something tangible or real or concrete, with solidity, with meaning, with purpose, with stop. Be. Carl Wren says, be what you cannot not be. You are already this. You are already that. All there is this. But what next? Stop. There is no next. There isn't even a now. There isn't even this. There's nothing. Nothing is required. Nothing needs to happen because this is already everything. God, if you will, is already omnipresent, which means God is in every inch, every centimeter, every millimeter, every cell and fiber of existence. This is suffused with divine energy, with the presence of the beloved. Always, always, already. Namaste. Much love.